Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another episode of BassQuest. The weather outside is nasty today, so I think we're going to do a little gear review. I'm going to break down what I consider my favorite bass fishing bait casting reel. And this is a great reel that you can get for beginners all the way up to extremely advanced guys. It's great for a lot of techniques. I think it's just an all-around workhorse reel and about the best bang for your buck, so to speak. And what I'm talking about is the Lew's BB1 series speed spool. This is an absolute workhorse of a reel. It's been in pro anglers' arsenals for forever now. It's a reel that's been on the market for a very long time, and I think it's got overshadowed by a lot of newer, flashier reels. I don't think it should. It's just one of the all-time greats as far as a reel is concerned. They've been building it for a long time for a reason. So let's jump into this review. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about some features that I really personally like about this reel. One of the big things to me is that you've got an aluminum frame, aluminum handle. The whole thing feels solid in your hand. It's really durable. It doesn't have a whole lot of carbon fiber, not a whole lot of things in it to lighten it up. It's a little heavier than other reels, but to me, in my hand, with that bigger gearing and everything, I feel like I've got a really solid feel to it when I'm cranking in baits. And this has been known for forever for guys fishing ledges with deep diving crankbaits, big deep diving crankbaits. If you know about them, they have tremendous amount of drag, and big spinner baits have a lot of drag, and it can be hard to turn the handle on a lot of reels with subpar gearing. Not the case with this particular reel. Guys have been using it forever. Another reason why they use this thing is that you can bomb a cast literally like a mile with this reel. The main reason for that is you've got a really big spool. You know, this thing holds 160 yards of 12-pound test, and so you can really make those super long casts. And in order to make those long casts, it really comes down to the braking as well. You know, this reel uses a fixed pin centrifuge braking system, and that's a lot different than a lot of the new reels. So I'm going to take this thing down. We're going to take the side plate off here. We're going to take a peek at this. Alright, as you look into here, let's see if we can get it to focus. Come on, baby. There we go. You can see these 6 individual pins, and they're all spring loaded. So as you adjust and put some of those pins into place or lock them out of place, what will happen is you'll get different amounts of tension on the spool as you're making that cast. And what that'll do is either slow it down, or you can free spool it so you can get longer cast on there. And you can see there's no external, like on a lot of other reels, Shimano reels and things like that, there's no external clicker or way to change that up, and I honestly like that. I mean, you think about it not being as fast as a way to adjust your reel. However, I've noticed that you can get this thing, once you get it adjusted kind of the way you like it. I like a really free spinning reel. I can cast so many different weights of baits. I can transition through baits. This thing is so good and so smooth. I rarely have any backlashes or have to really get in there and adjust this thing at all. I do most of the work with the spool tension knob on the side there. We're going to contrast that with a different reel here. This is the BB1 Pro. This is a newer reel, and it uses a different type of centrifugal brake system. So we're going to open this up and take a peek at that. Alright, you can see here you got the 6 pins again, but they're not as adjustable in the same way. They more often slide in and out, and you have an external adjustment on the plate here. This is really good for speedy adjustments, but what I've noticed is sometimes you'll have a little bit of variance in your cast, whereas I feel like that fixed system is so dependable. Let's contrast that with another reel. This is that Lew's Team Light. Another higher end reel. Both of these reels are much more expensive. Again, let's see here. Same 6-pin system, external adjustment there. This Team Light retails for I think 240 bucks. The BB1 Pro here retails for around 200 bucks. And then this reel, my favorite reel, this BB1 Speed Spool series reel, is only a $160 reel. And in reality, you can get on different sites and search around the internet, and a lot of times you can find this thing for closer to 100 bucks. It's just amazing to me that for that amount of money, you can get a reel with this much quality. When you talk about getting to that centrifugal brake system, it's just a whole nother planet of performance when it's compared to a magnetic braking system. Let's look at a magnetic brake system. Alright, here's a Lew's Super Duty. This is a reel that I absolutely love as well, but in my opinion is not as good a reel as this particular one. Alright, now one thing that I love about the Super Duty reels is you got this all aluminum, you got the aluminum frame, you got the aluminum side plates as well. I think that's great. I think the major thing that would really set this reel over the top and probably make it my all-time favorite reel would be if they would get rid of the magnetic brake system and go to that centrifugal brake system. This is what a magnetic brake system looks like. So what you've got there is you've got the drum of the spool, and it contacts these magnets. You can see right there, there's 5 magnets. And what you got is you got an external adjustment that engages those magnets at different points during the cast there, so you can have more tension, less tension. And that's a great system. It works really well. A lot of beginners use that system. But once you get into more advanced casting techniques, like really tight quarters roll cast, it skips and things like that, really what will happen with a magnetic system is you'll tend to ride up. That bait will try to ride up as those magnets engage, whereas the centrifugal brake system has a much cleaner trajectory. You can keep that bait lower in the water column. You have a lot more control over it. And to me, it's night and day over the magnetic system. I own a lot of magnetic brake systems. They're really great for a lot of things. But at the end of the day, price-wise, it's definitely worth it. And again, this is another $200 reel. Price-wise, it's really worth it to me when you can get a reel for 160 bucks that's going to have that type of brake system in it. It's amazing. Now with the proper care, these reels will last you an extremely long time. You know, you can expect to get, in my opinion, 5+ years out of a reel like this just because of the way they're constructed. If you don't believe me, you don't trust my opinion, get on Tackle Warehouse right now. They probably have the most extensive reviews on fishing gear of any place I know. Get down there, look up this reel on Tackle Warehouse and read down through the reviews of all these Shimano owners, Daiwa owners, and other guys that have bought one of these reels to try it out and are just absolutely amazed by it. Now getting down into the details of what I use this reel for. What I like this reel for specifically is for bigger baits. You know, I've got some lower gear ratio reels. I love them for, again, those deep diving crankbaits, something with a lot of drag. Big spinner baits. It's great for throwing rigs too. It'll even throw all the way up to that harvester rig. It handles that rig very well. I typically will throw that on my 300 size Super Duty. However, I've tried it on this. It works amazing. Works amazing with all the mid-size rigs that we talked about. Works great with a lot of big soft body swim baits too. So like mag draft size 8-inch swim baits works perfect for those, which is awesome. You can throw glides with it. It handles, you know, a 200 size S waver excellently. Another thing I like about it, it's not just relegated to bigger baits. If you drop down to some of the smaller pound tests with this reel, it's so smooth. I know my buddy Ben Nowak up in Michigan, he throws a lot of lighter baits up there for smallmouth on this thing. It's excellent for fishing a jig. I was fishing a jig with it the other day. All your Texas rig stuff, perfect for that. Really clean, really smooth reel so you can feel and detect those bites, feel what the bottom's doing. It's also great for all kinds of moving baits. You can throw traps on it. And I'm talking even smaller traps. Like I was throwing a 3/8 ounce jig on this thing really easily. 3/8 ounce chatterbait. You can throw all the way down to 1/4 ounce traps on it. I don't know if I'd do a 1/4 ounce jig, it'd be a little bit harder to cast, but there's so many things that you can do, even finesse type stuff with this reel. Again, I think it's just one of those, and what's popular in my opinion, what I love is just the fact it's a workhorse. You can do so many different things and it overlaps. So to me, for a beginner angler or just a tournament guy that needs a lot of setups and stuff like that, you're not going to do much better than this reel. I can't think of any across all the brands I've used. You know, I've used a lot of Abu reels. I've used some Shimano reels. I've felt some Daiwas. I haven't really used Daiwa as much. I know I like their Tatulas and stuff like that, but you're going to be really hard pressed to do any better than this particular reel right here for that price range. All right, that's it for this review. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope it gives you the confidence to go out there, grab one of these reels and try it out. And just to help me out, guys, if you would, either follow one of the links down below, or if you purchase it from a third-party site, if you would, leave a review on that reel and mention BassQuest in the comment there. That'd really help me out. Let me know that you guys are watching this and are actually linking in and interacting with some of these products that I'm using. I know you won't be disappointed. I love this reel. I've always loved these particular reels. I've been using them for a long time, and I know that they'll complement your arsenal as well. I'm going to do a few more of these gear reviews, including that Super Duty 300, which I picked up the other day. Absolutely love that thing. If you're liking these, go ahead and hit that like button. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions on this reel or any other luge products or any other products in general that I might have any kind of knowledge about. Be glad to start getting into that with you. I'm also going to do a review on that Mark Rose rod over there. That thing's fantastic. But As always, if you're liking the channel, make sure you subscribe. It really helps me out and it's absolutely free to you. In one of these corners over here, my icon will appear. It's got the little subscribe underneath it. Click that. Once it turns gray after you click the red button, you'll see that bell to the right there. Click that. That'll give you notifications when I post new videos. Super easy. But as always, guys, I hope this week finds you out on the water, and I'll catch you there.